It has been a hot minute since I've been on here, but we're back and with season 6 news actually.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Oh, why am I stammering?
Let me take you on a little trip down memory lane. So when season 4 was coming out, we got this list of a bunch of episode titles, and despite them being the stupidest things on the planet, everybody believed it was real. It did come out that they were fake though, and you know what, we were also relieved because we were like, there's no way y'all would name an episode this. Now, what does this have to do with season 6, you might ask? Well, a little while ago, titles for season 6 came out, and they were a bit interesting, to say the least. And a lot of people, mainly me, thought that this was just season 4 over again, where they were just like fake titles some rando on the internet made up. Well, come to find out, these titles were posted by an official source, meaning that these titles were fortunately the real ones, or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it. So in good news, we do have the episode titles for season 6, which is what this video is about. But in bad news, not bad news, but in interesting news, titles are interesting. Especially, I just have to mention this, especially after going from season 5, because every episode just had such an interesting title. And then you get back to season 6 and you're like, those are the names you chose. So I think they started naming episodes after Kumtai's villains again, which I don't know. I feel the same way about the animation. Like it seemed like we were maturing so much, but then we're kind of thrown back through a loop because all of a sudden we're back to very like kid-esque stuff. I don't even know. If you guys have seen the titles, you guys would know what I'm talking about. But for those of you who haven't, here are the full list. We're gonna go through each episode and talk about each one, but here's a little overview. Now, quick disclaimer, I probably won't know how to pronounce like half of these, so bear with me. The first one is Climatic Queen. That's how I would say. I don't know if that's necessarily right, but that does sound very similar to Stormy Weather, which is actually really interesting because with a lot of these names, and you guys will see as we get into them, they're very, very, very similar to episodes from the past, but they've just like slightly changed the name. So I honestly feel like this season is going to be a bunch of different seasons, but in a different font, which is interesting because I don't know, everyone always complains about Miraculous being super repetitive. So this is going to be interesting. Okay, so for some reason I skipped over episode 2, so coming in here to tell you that episode 2 is Illustrator. It's like Illustrator, but the word hater is in there, but I think it's still pronounced just Illustrator, theoretically, I don't know. But obviously this one is very similar to Illustrator, which was back in season 1 and it had to do with Nathaniel, so this one might also be about Nathaniel, and I would honestly kind of love that because he hasn't been akumatized in a hot minute, and also if he plays a big role in this episode, Mark probably also plays a big role in this episode, and I need information about them. I need to know what was happening in representation. I mean, I know what happened, but like I need to know what happened, you know? Okay, number 3 is sublimation. So if you guys don't know, sublimation, it's essentially something solid becoming a gas, but like the solid never becomes a liquid. I mean, maybe this has something to do with like another Kwame or another power. The 4th one kills me. It's so stupid. It's Daddy Cop. It's not funny. It's just like, out of all the names, I'm pretty sure this is kind of meant to be like Roger Cop. Because if you guys remember, Roger is the policeman, specifically Sabrina's dad, and he gets akumatized in season 1 and it was like Roger Cop. So I assume this has something to do with them, but it's like, why that? I just don't know, like, of all the names, I don't know why we went with that name in particular. Like, it could have just been Father Cop or Dad Cop or something. But I guess it's only weird if you make it weird, right? So I guess just don't make it weird. 5th one is Where Papa's, which is obviously very similar to Where Dad in season 3, which is my all-time favorite episode ever. Like, I know that episode frontwards and backwards. I think I'm really excited for this one because I think it's gonna be interesting, especially if it has something to do with Tom and even Cat Noir. 6 is Sleeping Siren, which I'm pretty sure the original episode was just called Siren, and it had something to do with Ondine, which is Kim's girlfriend, which I've said this a million times and I'm saying it again a million times. I don't know why she's with him. Break up with him. Oh my gosh. I don't know what she sees in him. Okay, I have no idea how to say this one, so.
El toro de piedra.
So that's number 7. Next one, 8, is another one that just makes me go, really? Like, are you sure these aren't fake? It's Vampagami. I guess is a crossover between a vampire and Kagami. Or maybe even origami, because I remember when Optigami came out, everyone was like, oh my gosh, Kagami, 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 Kagami. And then we found out that it actually wasn't about her. So I doubt this one will be about her. But I kind of wish it is, because could you imagine Kagami getting akumatized now that she's dating Felix? Like, I feel like Felix would be so pissed at that. And like, honestly, I would love to see that. Number 9 is Mr. Agrest. I've seen a lot of people say that they think that this is the episode that will meet Adrian's grandparents, which totally makes sense. And I'm assuming his grandpa is the one that gets akumatized. That's why it's called Mr. Agrest. Also, another interesting fact about this one is the fact that this is episode 9, because the episode Gabriel Agrest from season 4 was also episode 9. I don't know if that was like meant to be like that or if it just happened, but either way it is kind of cool. Next one is the Dark Castle, which kind of reminds me of the Dark Owl. I'm not sure if it's going to have anything to do with Mr. Damocles though. Also another name that sounds super fake. This one is called Revelator, which sounds very, very similar to Revelation. I think some people have theorized a reveal, but you know, we've said that with like every single episode and it never happens. So I doubt it, especially because it's episode 11. If it is happening this season, I doubt it would be that early. Reckless Driver? What? This one has to be about Cat Noir. Have you seen him driving that bus? The next one is Yaxi Goes In. I think that's how you say it. That really reminds me of Akari Goes In. So I feel like it's probably about Tomo. Next one is Diaper. I don't even know. 15 is The Ruler. I feel like maybe that could be a Chloe episode. I don't know why. I just feel like it seems like a name that Chloe would have. It's either No or like Noe or something. I'm not entirely sure, but like not really much to go off there. 17 is A Fairy Goodnight, which does kind of make me think of Samboy, which we have been dying for, have been begging for ages. I'm kind of jumping the gun a little here, but it could be like a Samboy 2.0. 18 is The Dirtifiers. What are these names? I'm sorry, I can't get over them. Like, how did we go from names like Derision to The Dirtifiers? The next one, I have no idea.
Originación.
Sure, that. I don't know what it means. Okay, so I look it up and the only thing that pops up is Miraculous. So, really helpful. 20 is The Heart Fixer. Kind of reminds me of Dark Cupid, but like the opposite, you know, because he was going around destroying people, destroying love specifically, but now they're kind of fixing it, which seems kind of weird. Like, maybe it's kind of like a Zombie Zoo thing where, you know, she was just trying to like make everyone love each other, but it was extreme. 21 is The Chain Titans. Okay, 22 is actually really interesting and it's called Lady Chaos, which a lot of people theorized is about Ladybug or Marinette getting akumatized. And I mean, Thomas has said before that it didn't make sense for her to be akumatized, and I kind of agree with that, so I don't want to say that it is, but like Lady Chaos does sound like it would, you know, be her akumatized, maybe? I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up, but it is really interesting. And another one I don't know how to pronounce.
Tristan Anansi.
Tristanansi. Alia's sister is Anansi, so Tristanansi? Maybe that has something to do with her? I don't know. 24 is The Queen of the Dread Zone, which also sounds like it could maybe be some kind of Chloe episode. I mean, I feel like anything that has to do with Queen, I just think of Chloe because Queen Bee. But of the Dread Zone, everyone dreads being around her, so makes sense. And then we have our last two. The first one is Secret Protocol, and then 26 is Nemesis, which sounds really interesting to me. I feel like this episode, at least Nemesis, may honestly be Lila and Ladybug and Cat Noir actually fighting each other rather than her just sending random people in. And then Secret Protocol, I don't even know. If you guys have any theories, let me know because I'm lost. I'm excited to hear you guys' thoughts.